This is Beyond the Veil with Norman Meredith.
Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Thursday's episode of Beyond the Veil with me, Norman, your host, and my co-host, Ed Lease, and producer. We're in Pickens tonight, talking about unidentified submerged objects.
Yeah.
You know, with all this flap now about UFOs coming up, Obama talking about it, Representative Nancy Mace, I think it is, has been pushing for release of UFO information.
Yeah, and she's running for governor of South Carolina. Actually, she's in the lead by 6 points as of yesterday.
Wow. That's amazing. And then Trump and then Secretary of War Pete Hegseth are supposed to be coming out with some documents. It's gonna
Trump, I can see him. He'd be sitting there saying, "The most beautiful aliens ever. Fantastic. They're wonderful. They're the very best. Big, beautiful Bigfoot. Wonderful."
I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal.
Uh-oh.
When he comes out, if he comes out about aliens and uses that line about aliens, I will buy you the
Lamborghini.
The alcohol of your choice.
Okay.
Okay? If he does that. But if he doesn't,
Uh-oh.
you got to buy me alcohol of my choice.
All right. So I'm going to get a bottle of Hennessy, some cognac. Hold on. What is the name of the Scottish whiskey? It tastes like a campfire. It's all smoky.
I have
Peat
no
bogs.
idea.
Lagavulin. Lagavulin. If you've ever had that, when you buy a bottle, you're actually buying 1 square foot of a peat moss bog in Scotland, and you own it.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. Lagavulin, made famous by Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. All right. Well, within the last few weeks here, Representative Tim Burchett, representative from Tennessee, is the primary U.S. congressman who has publicly claimed that UFOs are in the oceans and that the government is hiding information about them.
And I saw it on TV. He said it to the public.
He said it to the public.
Amazing.
And it's been posted on X, TikTok, anywhere that it can be. It's been published, which is amazing. If it was the 1950s or 60s, somebody would have put a muffle on him. But I'm glad he's talking about this. And Ed, we got a few pictures that just slowly rotate through them.
Yes, sir.
And underwater bases. I think I got one that looks like a giant underwater base picture.
Possibly.
It looks like a snow cone upside down.
Upside down snow cone.
Or a Christmas tree.
Not to be seen.
Okay. Now, according to Representative Burchett, underwater bases claim Burchett has stated that the U.S. Navy personnel have reported sightings of underwater craft that are as large as a football field, moving at hundreds of miles an hour under the water.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I sat there one night with an author. We were discussing being able to move underwater that fast.
Yeah.
And the only thing that we could come up with, you would have to create a plasma field around your craft in order to create a cone to be in order to like open up the water to like a vacuum to move that fast.
Right.
And we sat there and discussed it for a couple hours. It was maybe going to go in one of his books. And we talked about it because, you know, traditionally we can't do that with our normal submarines and such. But if you applied a plasma field, an energized plasma field around a craft and created a void, you could move that fast.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's a matter of the propulsion. How you gonna push your engine to move that fast? You'd have to have something
Red Mercury.
like a ramjet or something like that. And then the power source to power the Red Mercury. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Next thing. Now, according to Burchett, there's 5 or 6 locations. In late 2025, Burchett mentioned that the intelligence reports suggested the existence of 5 or 6 potential underwater alien bases, often noting that these oceans are least explored, making them a logical place for entities to go unnoticed. And that makes sense. Now, UFO hunters back in the 80s, 90s, did one on Catalina Island off of the coast of California, that there may be a UFO base there, because they did some pictures and some analysis of UFOs going into the water there a lot. And there's a lot of USO activity. Now, I'm saying the word USO. USO means unidentified submerged object. Not to be confused with UFO, which is a flying object.
Right.
So they call it a USO. And during the dive, one of the guys went down to dive, and he went down to max limit, and he said there was something down there below him with lights that wasn't right due to the color pattern. He was getting like a flutter of lights in different sequences, and it really freaked him out. But some of the places that could possibly be is, think about this, the Bermuda Triangle.
Okay.
We have missing ships, planes.
Oh, yeah.
There's the Devil's Sea off of Japan. Very similar. And then you had Catalina Island. That's 3 sites. Then you'd probably have one in the Indian Ocean. Think how big that ocean is.
It's huge.
That's 4.
Huge.
And then I'm not sure where the 5th one would be. Probably somewhere, maybe in the middle of the Pacific.
Yeah.
You know. And the story behind that would probably be like the lost city of Lemire, or Mew, that disappeared out there. Would be the possible place for your fifth location. All right, and like I say, Ed's showing you some photos and all that.
That's right.
And there's one photo. It's a picture of the sea, and with a sub picture in it.
Mm-hmm. Just had that one up. Are you talking about? Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that is an example of a USO that is being sighted just under the waves, and people just, you'll see these things, they think it's a submarine. It's not a submarine, folks. It actually is a USO. You know, people have seen the crafts be pursuing. We'll talk about the UFO encounter with the Tic Tac. Now, you recall that encounter they talked about, was it in 2017, 2019, where the fighter planes were trying to get that mysterious aircraft that was flying rings around them off the coast of California, and it looked like a Tic Tac. Let's see, where is it? Got the photo of it.
Tic Tac.
Yeah, the Tic Tac.
The black and white one.
Yeah, the black and white one. Now that thing actually went into the water. That's how that was lost. It didn't fly away. It didn't go straight up and didn't fly over the horizon. It went into the water. And I forget the term they use for a craft that does that. I think they call it transmedium or something like that. About flying in. Now, there is one good picture I got here. It's got its exclamation point showing a craft coming out of the water.
That's right. I see it right here.
Mm-hmm.
Almost looks like a whale breaching.
Mm-hmm. That's an alleged picture of a UFO coming out of the water. Now, going on. It's transmedium capabilities. That's what that's what it's called. And he's emphasized that these objects are transmedium, meaning that they can operate seamlessly in the air or dive into the water. Okay, that's what that's called, is transmedium, being able to go from one medium to another. Now, evidence-based, Burkhart asserts that these claims are based on briefings and testimonies he's received from military officials, including unnamed admirals. Okay, and the note is, while Representative Burkhart has been vocal opponent of these theories based on investigation, the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Response Office has stated that as of late 2024, they have been found no evidence pointing to extraterrestrial technology or beings in their investigation.
All right.
Of course they're going to say that, because what's the official line? Denial. You know,
Oh yeah, absolutely, all the time.
I mean, a UFO can land in front of the White House, and they'll say, "Oh, that's not a UFO; it's a prop."
It's always a problem.
Even through the aliens came out, talked to the president in front of people, they'll deny it until it suits their purpose to release it. You know, the CIA had a thing about denying everything about related to UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of that got to go back to an organization called Majestic 12 that was created by, was it Eisenhower? Wasn't Eisenhower, it was Truman, I believe, created that organization after the Roswell incident. And their job was to manage UFO sightings and crashes. And so now, some now believe that it's a deep state government in itself. And, you know, money that we supposedly paying for $700 hammers is why we're paying for $700 hammers, is because $695 of that is going to Majestic 12 and $5 actually buys the hammer.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. The accounting that doesn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, we've watched movies about UFOs, USOs. I mean, the 1950s and 60s opened up a lot of our minds about the possible existence and what could happen. Do you remember a TV show called Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea?
No. Mm-mm.
You had a pitiful childhood.
That's probably true. I was busy watching A-Team.
This was before that.
Well,
but it was
I'm not that old,
But
sir.
believe it or not, it was about an American submarine, and one of the craft they had was a UFO-shaped flying sub.
Wild.
And it could go into and out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, during the late 50s and 60s, the United States government was working on, get this, an undersea aircraft carrier capable of launching fighter craft.
Underwater and then just pop out.
Yep.
Sounds like a propulsion system. It's magnetic that uses polarity to launch the projectiles off of essentially a submarine that can float.
There's an AI floating around on X that shows a submarine open the bay doors, and out pops what looks like an F-15E, pops out from under the water, out of the sub, while it's underwater, comes up to the surface, kicks in the afterburners, and comes flying out.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the best work of AI I've ever seen.
I mean, I've seen recently, I've seen drones that can go underwater.
Yeah.
I don't know how you control them when they're underwater. Like, how far can you go to where your radio signal still works? I don't know. I think it's inches, but these were like way under. So I was like, that'd be kind of cool if it was, because it comes up over the surface and then takes off. Seemed pretty neat.
Some might be tethered drones.
Yeah, these. Oh, you talking tethered like the ones they're using in Ukraine right now? Some of those. Yeah. I don't even know how do they stretch those cables and make them not like get.
It depends on the type of cable.
Ripped on stuff. Fiber optic. It has to. It would have to be fiber optic.
Oh, speaking of drones, now this is not confirmed, but one of the there was a thread on X that I picked up, was it last night, about the drones showing up again in New Jersey.
Really?
Again.
I think I read something about that today.
There was mention that because of the conflict going on in Iran, that we're going to see more UFO-like activity in the world, because they want to see how far we're going to go with this combat.
I heard it had something to do with either Lockheed or Boeing out in New Jersey, and they were double testing. So you see them more airborne at different times because of flight schedules and patterns and things like that. It's a very busy area.
It could very well
be. Very busy airspace.
Very well be that. I mean, we know that people are going to test at different times. We've got that plant up in Greenville, and they may be doing testing. It's just nobody's noticed it yet.
Yeah.
Because I know in the past, when I lived out off of 81 in Anderson, the military, the spec op chopters would fly at night coming out of Greenville, and they'd be flying over my house almost treetop level.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Rattle the windows and everything.
Oh, yeah. Those big, heavy Chinooks and all that, And they only flew them at night because I had to test the night vision gear and all the other, gear that's related to those things. And I just knew what they were because I spent time in the service.
That's right.
You're familiar with them. But, I hope that Representative Burkett has a very good luck in coming forward with this information about the subject of USOs Representative Mace coming forward with the UFOs. And it could be Luna. I can't think of her last name. She might be the other congresswoman that's pushing for UFO disclosure. But it's amazing how more with this open society we got with media and social media, that information's there, and it's getting harder and harder in a way to repress it, especially when people can post immediately and live.
Yeah. And now you don't look like such a whack job because of the communication. It's not just one person out there. You hear him in a newspaper 50 years ago saying weird stuff. Now it's like hands-on stuff. And then other people are desperate and they want to, they want attention and they want to monetize. So they use AI to create things that just aren't real.
And I think we're more open-minded than we were in the 50s and 60s because we've been exposed to it more with books, movies, TV, action figures, and whatnot. Even social media in its own way has acclimatized us to it. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks.
Absolutely.
So, folks, we're going to cut it off here tonight, and I hope you enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Ed and I hopefully will have this issue with that I'm experiencing. You guys are having no problem seeing it. I can't see my monitor, so Ed's still... He could be playing rough.
I'm fiddling around with it.
For all I know, he's putting Bikini Babes up on the screen, and I'm not seeing nothing till I go watch my show later tonight.
That's some of the photos from the Epstein files. That's what it is.
Yeah, I like living. All right, folks. Well, thank you for tonight. Sitting here talking with a little bit about USOs. I hope you all have a nice evening. Come back and see us next Tuesday. And I think I'm going to go with cryptids of Vermont and work my way from the top of the state, corner of the country, and work my way down and across.
Good deal.
All right, so look for Vermont next week. And then we'll probably pick up one show for Thursday. That'll be luck of the draw. I'm going to look into the new drone idea going on. If it is occurring in New Jersey, I will bring it up for Thursday's show. Okay? Y'all be good. Thank you, folks.